The education system that most of us have blindly followed since childhood was designed to turn us into obedient workers. This system often leads us to jobs that don't offer the fulfillment or financial stability we expected. It's time to take full responsibility for our lives. We've invested heavily in education, only to find ourselves in jobs that don't meet our expectations. This is an injustice. Let's strive to live the life we truly want, where we are happy, prosperous, and contribute positively to society. We deserve more than just surviving, we deserve to thrive. I developed a framework that can help us escape this trap for ourselves and for future generations. But let me warn you, this is not a framework that will get you out of this trap in 30 days or make you a millionaire in 6 months. You can't skip the hustle phase and jump straight to the reward phase. It doesn't work that way. This framework is not a get-rich-quick scheme, it's a proven method to escape this trap. It might take you 2 years, 3 years, or even 5 years to implement, and you will face many challenges along the way. Every day, your mind will try to convince you to stick with the status quo, to keep scrolling through social media, and then go to sleep. Because after all, life is short. But I want you to promise me that you won't listen to this voice in your head, because if you want to live life on your own terms, if you don't want to rely on someone else, then you must go through this difficult journey. And if you stay committed, I promise this framework will get you out of this trap. In 1760, the Industrial Revolution began, which completely transformed the global economy. Those who understood this shift ended up in top positions in the world. Right now, as you watch this, we are again standing at the cusp of a major revolution. Are you aware of it, or are you unable to see it but just can't take action? Well, not anymore. Now you too can take advantage of this revolution and completely transform your life. Let's continue. What you're looking at is called a pyramid. When we measure the distribution of global wealth with this pyramid, it's called the global wealth pyramid. This is the top of the pyramid where all the millionaires, multimillionaires, and billionaires sit. Only 1.1% of the world's population, about 59.4 million people, are here, and they hold 45.8% of the world's wealth. And this is the bottom of the pyramid where we sit. These are the people whose combined assets are less than 800,000, 52.5% of the world's population, or about 2.8 billion people are here, and they live on just 1.2% of the world's wealth. The difference is huge, right? But you might be thinking, what's new about this? Everyone keeps telling me this. I've heard it all before, and now you're telling me the same thing. That's why I said earlier that 45.8% of the world's wealth is controlled by just 1.1% of the population. If you're thinking like this, then what I'm about to show you will blow your mind. Look at this part of the pyramid. Here sit those people who have between 1,000 and 8 million in wealth. In 2016, 365 million people out of the total global population sat in this part of the pyramid. But just 6 years later, in 2022, this number grew from 365 million to 642 million. In just 6 years, nearly 277 million people managed to move themselves into this second position of the pyramid. And if research is to be believed, this number is set to grow even faster. When people talk about this pyramid, they either talk about the top 1.1% or the bottom 52.5%, but no one focuses on the second part of the pyramid. But we need to focus on this second part of the pyramid. If we become even slightly conscious, we can grow this second part even more. Today, there's no excuse. If someone says, I'm too poor, I can't do anything, and you have a phone and the internet, but you're still not doing anything, then the problem is with you. So the question is, what has happened in the last 6 years that has allowed 277 million people to move themselves into this second level of the pyramid? Well, to explain that, we need to go back a bit. Between 1760 and 1840, the Industrial Revolution transformed the global economy, shifting it from the agricultural age to the industrial age. Those who had huge amounts of capital took full advantage of this. For example, Andrew Carnegie made so much money from the steel manufacturing industry that today he's known as one of the richest people in history. John D. Rockefeller made so much money from the oil industry that he became one of the richest people in the world. Thomas Edison and countless others, but right now, we are standing in the midst of a new revolution, the digital revolution. Yes, I agree, it started in the 1990s, but back then, it wasn't accessible to everyone. Today, anyone can use it to improve their life. And do you know the best part about this digital revolution? To take advantage of it, we don't need to be born into a wealthy family or have a lot of capital. You can do a lot with nothing. When I started Growth School, I made a logo with a free logo maker, built a website on WordPress with a cheap domain and hosting, all with just a few dollars. That's how Growth School started. It wasn't fancy, but it worked. We improved things as we made money. In this revolution, to make your fortune, you need desire and skills. Every day, you see countless examples of people who, 4 or 5 years ago, were just like you, but in the last 4 or 5 years, they've changed their fate right before your eyes. Yet our belief is still stuck in the mindset that you need a big investment to do something significant. If your circumstances are challenging, it's easy to think that you can't change your fortune. But with the resources available today, you can take control and transform your life. The time has come to change our thinking, to see reality. Now is the time to understand the shift from the Industrial Revolution to the digital age and get to work. If 277 million people could change their fate in the last 6 years, why can't we change our lives in the next 4 or 5 years of hard work? We all want to be wealthy, to have financial freedom, to live life to the fullest and to help others. But are we really sending that message to our minds, or are we sending the opposite message? July 23, 2023. I analyzed whatever little I had learned from my life and developed a framework. In today's video, I'm going to share with you that 4-step framework, which I used to start earning money at the age of 16, alongside my studies. This framework provides an exact roadmap to achieving our dreams. It consists of 4 stages, and we must start with stage 1, and by the time we reach stage 4, we will have escaped this education trap. The first stage is exploration. If you analyze it closely, you will realize that it's not that what is taught in school or college is useless. The problem is that the same thing is being taught to everyone. So it's obvious that those who genuinely like that field will become successful, but the rest will fail. Therefore, the first thing we need to implement in our lives and ensure that our future generations implement as well is exploration. We start working hard, but we forget to explore the field in which we are working hard. Now think about how painful it would be if we work hard for 10, 15 years. We might land a job at a company, earning $1,200 a month. But every day we're forcing ourselves to push through that job because we don't enjoy the work at all. Do you like your job? No. How long have you been working in this industry? In the industry for 25 years. Why did you choose to go into this job in the first place? 25 years ago, let's say I was looking for financial stability, and that's how I ended up here. And that's why the first stage of this framework is exploration. Now, the question arises, how do we explore? Let's say I really enjoy playing football, and I want to become the next Ronaldo. So I start with coaching and preparation, but as soon as I get to the coaching center, I realize that I should be focusing on shooting, but the coach is making me run 10 laps. What is this? I'm not enjoying the process, so it's not for me. Someone who enjoys that process of running those 10 laps understands that it's crucial for delivering on the field. They're not just working hard, they're passionate about it, and that's bringing results. That's actually the right combination. The first thing you need to accept is that you don't have to decide in a single day which field to choose. Now, some people might say, just suggest 1 or 2 fields. That's the same as having a career imposed on you in schools or colleges. Today you're expecting the same from me. It's all about experiments. Make every idea your passion project, execute the passion project, and at any point in time, if you feel, no, this is not it, I'm built for something better. Don't shy away from letting it go, because better things are coming for you. Before this channel, I experimented with almost 3 to 4 different channels in various styles and niches. Currently, I'm still working on one of those channels and seeing great results. You might have playlists with similar content. Create charts for those playlists. It's like making your content pattern entirely aligned with your passion. If you wanted to become a singer, then your YouTube channel should feature only related content. Choose any field, but keep 2 things in mind. You should love your work, and there should be enough people willing to pay for your product or service. You'll understand if people will pay or not in the 3rd stage of this framework. The 2nd stage of this framework is skill development. No matter what field your dream is in, one thing will apply everywhere. You need to become the best at the required skills for that field. For example, if you want to be a graphic designer, you need to master design software and understand design principles. The good news is, if we choose a field by our own choice, we should enjoy learning the skills required for it. So, how do we learn these skills? You need to buy courses or engage in self-learning. For instance, I am a product of self-learning. I learned how to build websites through online courses. I bought courses when I had money. When I didn't, I learned from the internet. When you don't have money, you have time. Invest your time first. Take responsibility for yourself and stop making excuses like, I don't have money to buy courses now. Once you've learned a skill to a certain level, you don't need to master it completely. Just reach a competent level. For instance, if you've learned basic web development skills, you don't need to be an expert right away. Now it's time to move to the third stage of this framework, pilot testing. Up until now, you've been sharpening your axe. It's time to test it. You need to expose the skills you've learned to the world. We all know that visibility leads to sales. Create something using Instagram and share it. Share not to get millions of views, but to establish an online presence. For example, if you're a graphic designer, you could share your design projects on Instagram to showcase your work. When you approach someone with your services or products, you should have something to show. Nowadays, people search online first for any service or product. If you don't have an online presence, you are missing out on many opportunities. You don't need 1 million subscribers. You only need about 100 followers who are genuinely ready to buy your product or service. This is the revolution I'm talking about. If, 10 years ago, you had a skill and wanted to make money from it, you would have had to struggle a lot, because only people in your locality were available to buy your product or service. But today, the whole world is waiting for your product or service if it truly solves their problem. If you have a skill that is genuinely valuable, there are always people in the market who are willing to pay for it. While sending cold emails can be effective, there's a method to it. Many people receive numerous offers for free services like designing thumbnails, editing videos, or conducting research. However, most are looking for professionals who can either match their level or exceed it. Therefore, the key is to focus on honing your skills and showcasing your expertise, rather than simply offering free services. You might think, if the thumbnails I receive are better than my current ones, I wouldn't reject them. But no, we often want quick money and end up falling into traps of courses that promise to make you a millionaire in just 16 days or within 4 months through their webinar. If I were to create a template of this documentary script and offer it for purchase, those who buy it would likely be interested in documentary filmmaking or doing freelance work. In the future, if I launch a course on documentary filmmaking or storytelling, I would already know how many people genuinely need these classes. After pilot testing, work on the feedback you receive and strive to make your product or service the best it can be. Now it's time for the final stage of the ESP framework, launch. Now you have a field you enjoy working in, you have strong skills in that field, and through pilot testing, you've verified that your product or service has potential. It's time to build a service that positively impacts someone's life or business, and launch it. If you want to work with a client, you have already impressed them with your work through your cold emails. Now discuss how much to charge for your services. Gradually, within 3 to 4 years, you will find yourself out of the education trap. It might seem like a long time, but trust me, even if you start from scratch, after going through this framework, you'll become self-reliant. And before you know it, these 3 to 4 years will pass by quickly. This was my first income generated by launching my first ever batch. If you watch this documentary and don't take any steps, remember that no one else will pull you out of this situation. Not the government, not a miracle. Only you can change everything. If you start working on this framework right now, and want to escape the education trap to do what you have always wanted to do, let me know. As you transition from one stage to the next, make sure to tag me and keep me informed, because I genuinely want to see you work hard and chase your dreams. Imagine a world where everyone is fully committed to pursuing what they truly want to do. We often talk about how certain places or communities are falling behind, but we fail to recognize that the strength of any society lies in its people. If each person focuses on improving themselves, the entire world will advance together. Consider how things have been for the last 3 to 4 years. You've only been entertained with no significant changes in your life. Many people are leaving you behind, and it will continue if you don't implement anything. Therefore, work hard, pursue your dreams, and you will gain immense respect for yourself. Support me in this way, and I'll strive to create more impactful documentaries in the future aimed at raising awareness and addressing topics that directly influence and improve our lives, just like this one. Thank you so much for your love and support. I appreciate each and every one of you. See you in the next documentary. Until then, take care. Bye.